Say you sold your HDB for 800,000 and that's a lot of money. And for a moment, it felt like everything is taken care of. But here's what most people don't realize. That 800,000, you don't get to keep all of it. Before the money even reaches you, the deductions start. And when it's all done, many sellers look at what's left behind and think, wait, that's it? I sat across the table from sellers who thought they will be comfortable. Some were, some weren't. The difference wasn't the selling price. The difference was whether they did a proper calculation before they commit to sell. Now in this video, I'll walk you through a real example. We'll use 800,000, but whatever your number is, the same calculation applies step by step, and I'll show you exactly where the money goes and what you need to check before you decide to sell. And if you're planning to sell your flat, and this is one video you do not want to skip, because the selling price is just the beginning. What matters is what left, and whether is it enough. Now let's dive in. Hi friends, if you're new to my channel, my name is Kenneth, an ex-police officer with 17 years of real estate experience. Most people only find out about their CPF and HDB options when it's too late to plan, and this channel exists to change that. I'll break down policy, schemes, and decisions in a way that is simple and practical, so you can plan ahead with confidence. Now let's get started. Now most people who sell their property focus on one thing, the selling price, and that makes sense. Housing agent tell you your flat can fetch 800,000. Your neighbor just sold at 800,000, and recent transaction data also show 800,000. And maybe you are thinking, if you're on a higher floor, better condition, better view, maybe you can fetch even higher. But here's the thing, that 800,000 or more is not what goes into your pocket. I've seen sellers sign the paperwork, collect the deposit, feeling good about the transaction, and then sat down a few weeks later before completion and realized the cash figure is much lower than they expected. Not because anything went wrong, but because they were so focused on the 800,000, they overlooked the other numbers. And here's what I want you to remember. 800,000 is what your buyer pays you, and what you actually walk away with in cash can be a very different number. And for some sellers, it is a nightmare. I'll share a story later in the video, but first, let me show you exactly where the money goes. So where does the money go between your selling price and the cash you actually receive? There are four main deductions. First, your outstanding loan. If you have an existing HDB or bank loan, this gets cleared first before anything else comes to you. Second, your CPF refund and accrued interest. Whatever CPF you use to buy the flat, and that goes back, plus the accrued interest. I will explain that in detail in a moment, because this surprises a lot of people. Third, your selling costs. Agent's commission, legal fee, admin fee. These are the costs of selling. Fourth, other costs if applicable. Things like resale levy or outstanding town council charges, depending on your situation. Every seller goes through these four, but most people only think about one or two and get caught off guard by the rest. Say you sold your home at 800,000, and let me show exactly what happened to that money, one deduction at a time. The first thing you need to ask yourself, do you still have an outstanding home loan? If yes, you need to find out that amount. For an HDB loan, log into your HDB portal with your SingPass. Click My Flat, then Financial Info. Your outstanding loan amount will be right there. And if you're on bank loan, log into your iBanking portal to check. Say for example, if your outstanding loan is 30,000, so 800k minus 30,000, you are left with 770,000. But that money doesn't come to you yet. Next, you use CPF to pay for your home. Whatever CPF you use to buy the flat, and that has to go back to your CPF account. Principal amount plus accrued interest. To check this figure, log into CPF website with your SingPass. Scroll down and click Home Ownership Dashboard. And then scroll down again. Your principal amount and accrued interest are shown right there. In our example, say you and your spouse combined CPF refund and accrued interest is 330,000. So we have 770,000 minus 330,000. Now you're at 440,000. And then there is selling cost. Agent commission, say 2% plus GST. Then legal fee and admin fee. In our example, approximately 20,000 in total. So 440,000 minus 20,000. Your cash proceeds 420,000 out of that 800,000. Now that's the number most agents stop at. But that's only half the story. So you have 420,000 in cash proceeds. For many people, that felt like a relief. Finally, the money is here. But here's the question most people forget to ask. What are you doing next? Because 90% of people who sell also buy. And the moment you factor in your next home, the picture changed completely. Now let's continue with our example. Say you decided to right size to a smaller home. You find a resale flat you like at 600,000 and you decide no loan this time, no more installment, a fully paid home. Purchase price 600,000. Buyer stamp duty 12,600. Agent commission approximately 6,500. Legal fee approximately 1,500. Total cost of buying your next home approximately 621,000. Now, how are you going to pay for this? Say your CPF OA available is 330,000. You can use that towards the purchase, and that means the cash you need to top up is 291,000. And if your cash proceed from selling was 420,000, so 420,000 minus 291,000, you are left with about 129,000 in cash. Now, is that enough? Most people at this point would say 129,000 not bad, still got some saving for the future. And this is where I want to share that real story I mentioned earlier. John was so focused on the 800,000 selling price and the 420,000 cash proceeds and 129,000 left. In his mind, he has done well, he felt comfortable. He has right sized to a smaller home, no more loan, a home that was fully paid. So he decided to make his new place felt like a home. He took up renovation loan, about 150,000, and since he had no more home loan, he was comfortable taking the renovation loan. And then he booked a Europe trip for the family, bought expensive new furniture and the latest PlayStation for the family to enjoy because they deserve it, right? But when all these numbers add up and John wasn't paying attention to how fast they add up, that 190,000 was gone and the renovation loan was still running. Last I heard, John had more than 100,000 in personal loan to repay, and that was a costly mistake. He never mapped out the full picture before he sold. He had the illusion that cash proceeds meant money he could freely spend, and the truth is anyone can fall into this trap. The selling price felt like a win, the cash proceeds felt like freedom, but without proper planning, that freedom can disappear faster than you think. So how do you avoid this situation? You plan before you sell, not after. And there are 5 things you need to work out before you commit to anything. 1. Find out your outstanding loan, if any. 2. Check your CPF refund and accrued interest. 3. Calculate your estimated cash proceeds. 4. Factor in your next home purchase price, stamp duty, agent's commission, legal fee, and work out how much CPF you can use. And then work out how much cash you actually need. 5. Account for renovation and buffer. Renovation alone can range from 30,000 to 100,000 or more. And don't forget about moving costs, new furniture, appliances. This add up faster than you expect. Getting clarity on this number before you sell, and that's what protects you. And what gives you real freedom is not the selling price, not the cash proceeds figures alone, the full picture. And to make this simple, I put together a simple calculation worksheet you can download and fill in your own number. The link is in the description below. Print it out, sit down with your spouse, work through it together before you make any decision. And once you have that number, your real cash position, and I want you to do one more thing, protect it. Think about it this way, you spend 10, maybe 20 years paying for that home. Each month, quietly, consistently paying it down. Month after month, years after years. And now, finally, you get to monetize. That cash proceed is not a windfall. It is the result of 10 to 20 years of your life. And if you are not careful, it can disappear very fast. And for those 10 to 20 years, gone like that. And I'm not saying that you cannot spend or enjoy. Maybe take 10-20%, treat yourself, treat your family. You deserve it. You work hard for it. But for the rest, you really need to guard it. Because that money is not just cash sitting in your bank account. It is for your retirement. It is your security and it is your future. Selling your flat for a good price feels like a win, and it is. But as you have seen in this video, the selling price is just the beginning. What matters is what's left and what you do with it. So before you commit to sell, sit down with the numbers, all of them, not just the selling price, not just the cash proceeds, the full picture. And if you already sold your home before, did the cash proceed matches what you expect? Share your experience in the comment below. It might help someone watching this. And if you want help working through your specific situation, I'm offering a free 15 minutes next home review. No pressure, no obligation, just clarity. And I'll leave the link in the description below. And if you're also thinking about your next home and wondering how much you can actually afford, I have done a full video on this. You can watch it here. My name is Kenneth, and I'll see you in the next video.